I I think a disengagement from China would take many years, Lewis, right? To develop and approve that, the new sourcing strategy, right? So, as we all know, we're in the business. To qualify a new supplier is quite a chore, right? Cost, time, effort. So even if we all started today with a strategy, disengage from China, it would take many years. I don't think there's enough capacity at the moment to do that.
Yeah, very good. Um, Bob, how would you maintain any type of cost analysis? I mean, what is it geopolitical risk versus cost? How do you look at this if suddenly you're less expensive outsourcing to India? We don't even have to pick China, or Vietnam or Malaysia. How how do you think about that as far as is it a cost versus geographic risk analysis?
Yeah. So this is a really interesting point, and it sort of, maybe I can tie it back into what Vin was just saying. Um, when you think about not only the sort of monumental lift it would take in order to extricate um, supply chains from China or from anywhere, I think Vin's quite right. It would take many years to do this, and I'm not certain that there's enough bandwidth um, in order to do that. So, for example, if anybody's switched manufacturing or switched to CDMO, the time and expense to do that, um, minimum 3 years in manufacturing and probably more. Don't forget test batches and all kinds of other things, getting it regulatory approved and what have you. Um, you're almost certainly going to be going to a higher cost area, because I'm not certain that there's um, lower cost alternatives. There may be geographic regions where the labor cost may be less, but China's been able to amortize their infrastructure over decades, and so it's very inexpensive compared to other places that would have to be building that industry.
Right.
And so I think
Right.
it's really important to have an understanding of just what this all means. The point that the others made too about, you can go to other places, but there are some realities that one has to understand, and that is that you may not procure directly from China, but if you go to other places, Western Europe, go to India, go any place else, most likely they're getting the raw materials at least. A lot of catalysts, precious metals are. China is one of the most important areas for some of these precious metal catalysts, and so I don't even know how to handicap the costs on something like this. I really don't. I do hope that there's some thought put into this if the Biosecure Act were to go forward, the least of which would be a buffer period where, a decade or more would be given in order to transition over to things.